Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Bringing you the news from Sri Lanka and across the world, it's a national news broadcast on Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I'm Siobhan Pereira.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Sharifa Tahir. Let's take a look at the headlines.
6,000 rupees allowance paid to school students of Aswasuma beneficiary families will be directly credited to relevant accounts from today. Banking sector has revitalized due to stability at the Colombo Stock Exchange. First stage of the Chinese housing project commences. The architecture of modern India, Dr. Manmohan Singh bids farewell to the nation. Imported rice will soon be released to the local market. Foreigners can purchase tickets online to visit zoological gardens.
And now for your news in detail. The 6,000 rupee allowance paid to the students' qualified Aswasam beneficiary families has been directly credited to the relevant bank accounts.
A sum of 6.7 billion rupees has been allocated for this purpose. The Ministry of Finance has credited the money to the relevant accounts. Accordingly, 1,107,863 qualified students from grade 1 to grade 13 will receive benefits. The President submitted a proposal to the Cabinet to pay a special allowance to the selected students in low-income families from the year 2025. The Cabinet has given its approval for this proposal. The government has also decided to pay allowances of 6,000 rupees per student who are not included in the Aswasama program, parentless students, students whose mother or father are handicapped, school-going children in children's homes and students who have become helpless under special circumstances. Chairman of the Welfare Benefits Board, Jayantha Vijayaratne, says that this has been implemented as the first stage. Chairman of the Welfare Benefits Board, Jayantha Vijayaratne, said that money has been credited to the parents' accounts for the benefit of over 1.1 million students. He said that the money can be withdrawn through banks. He added that the government expects this money will be spent to purchase stationery books and school equipment needed to their education. He further said that the government wishes success for their educational activities. He also said that therefore the parents are requested to spend the money only for educational activities of the students.
Now, a recorded increase was seen in the Colombo Stock Exchange today as well. The investment consultants of the stock exchange say that the resurgence in the bank sectors has been prominent. Now, the Colombo All Share Price Index has also increased compared to the previous day by 135.7 and has been recorded as 15,535.6. The turnover at the end of the day has been 9.8 billion rupees.
The all-share price index started this week at 14,810 and ended at 15,535, showing a positive trend at all-time high. The recent market performance and investor sentiments have been heavily influenced by several key factors. Firstly, policy continuity with the newly elected government committing to the IMF program and debt restructuring. Has removed policy uncertainty. The successful completion of the external commercial debt restructuring has improved the country's credit ratings, positively impacting listed banks with high exposure to ISBs. Additionally, declining market interest rates have made equities more attractive, impacting market valuations and earning yields. Looking ahead, the market sentiment performance could continue to improve. The upcoming budget will be crucial if it aligns with the IMF requirements for fiscal consolidation, primarily balance surpluses, and avoid unexpected new taxes. Investor sentiment is expected to remain positive. This would support the economic stability, growth, debt sustainability, and lower market interest rates. Continued structural reforms in the economy and SOAs would further catalyze the market. We anticipate an upward re-rating of the market with valuation of multiples adjusting based on the expectations of the low, medium to long-term risk-free rates. In the near term, we expect that banks and non-bank financial institutions will perform well due to the private sector's credit growth ratings and the re-evaluation of multiples. Other sectors likely to do well include construction materials, selected tourism stocks benefiting from increased tourist arrivals and export-oriented sectors, such as apparel, textile manufacturing. Additionally, consumer staples and retail sectors are expected to show improved results amid the ongoing economic recovery.
The construction activities of the first stage of 1,888 housing project, which is provided as a grant from the Chinese government, commenced today at Ravatavatta in Moratuwa. Foundation stone was laid to the Ravatavatta housing project in Moratuwa with the participation of Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya. A group of foreign envoys along with the Chinese ambassador in Sri Lanka, He Zhenghong, also participated in this occasion. The project consists of 575 houses and 108 houses to be constructed in Kottawa area for the veteran artists. 586 houses are to be constructed in the second stage in Dembatagoda area, and in the third stage 615 houses are expected to be constructed in the Palayagoda area. The Urban Development Authority will be providing necessary supervision for the project. 22 million rupees would be spent by the Chinese government for the entire project.
Over decades of cooperation, it embodies China's unwavering solidarity with Sri Lanka, especially during challenging times. We see this project as a tangible expression of China's firm support for Sri Lanka's development and its new government. It's also a milestone in our shared journey towards achieving prosperity for our two peoples. At this juncture, I would like to express my expectations for the project implementation teams. The construction work will be carried out by the China Railway 25th Bureau Group, China Harbour Engineering Company, and the Shanxi Construction Investment Group. I urge those esteemed companies to operate with the high standards of professionalism and the guidance of the Zhongnan Architecture Design and Research Institute. I trust that you will approach this project not only a construction task, but as a mission to uphold the friendship between China and Sri Lanka. High standards, quality assurance, safety, and time completion must be your guiding principles. I firmly believe that with your relentless efforts and steadfast support of the Sri Lanka people, you will undoubtedly complete this aid project to the highest standards, presenting a precious gift to our Sri Lanka brothers and sisters. This subsidized housing project is part of China's assistance to Sri Lanka. The Chinese government and people will, as always, provide all possible support to our Sri Lanka friends within our capacity.
I am honored to be here today for the groundbreaking ceremony of the China Aid subsidized housing project, which will provide 1,996 homes for low-income families. This project marks a crucial step towards addressing the housing crisis that so many families in our urban areas face. Housing is far more than just a place to live. It is the foundation of a dignified life. A secure and comfortable home enables individuals to meet their other basic needs. It provides stability for families, fosters a nurturing environment for children, and offers the space for communities to grow and thrive. However, for many low-income families in urban areas especially, these aspirations remain out of reach. Urban housing issues in Sri Lanka are complex, particularly for low-income families who face overcrowding, inadequate sanitation, and a lack of essential services. Many of these families live in informal settlements where living conditions are poor and the basic rights to water, sanitation, and electricity are often denied. The struggle to find affordable and adequate housing is an ongoing challenge. Unfortunately, this situation disproportionately affects women, who are often the primary caregivers and responsible for the well-being of the family. In many cases, women bear the burden of maintaining a home in spaces that are overcrowded, unsafe, and lacking in privacy. Women and girls' needs, including access to safe spaces for personal growth, education, and employment, are often overlooked in urban planning and housing development. When low-income families are provided with homes, these houses must meet the essential needs of all family members. They should offer access to natural light, fresh air, livable space for the entire family, and safe play areas for children. It is also crucial that these homes provide spaces that allow women to participate in economic, social, and political life.
The state funeral of former Indian Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh would be held in the capital of New Delhi in the evening tomorrow. Now, the government of India has declared a period of 7 days of mourning for the leader who directed India on the path of economic development. Dr. Manmohan Singh passed away last night in New Delhi after being ill for a short period. He was 92. The Indian people conveyed their heartfelt condolences to this senior leader without any party difference. He has the credit of creating the path for India to become the status of the fifth most powerful economic power of the world from an obsolete economic system. He was born on the 26th of September in 1932 to a poor family in the Punjab state of British India. Dr. Manmohan Singh achieved immense success in education by securing a doctorate and post-graduation from universities of Cambridge and Oxford in Britain. In 1962, the first Prime Minister of India, Sri Jawaharlal Nehru, invited young Manmohan Singh to join his government, but his intent was to remain in the academic field. He rendered a yeoman service to India for several decades as a representative of the United Nations, an advisor to the Ministry of Finance in India, a secretary of ministries, and as governor of the Indian Reserve Bank. He was the chairman of the University Grants Commission and also was an economic advisor to the Prime Minister of India for several decades. When India was a severe economic crisis in 1991, the then Prime Minister Narasimha Rao made a special request to Dr. Manmohan Singh to accept the post of Finance Minister and to save the country from a severe economic crisis. He was successful in achieving steep economic development by reaping fruits of his economic program and directed India to a market-oriented economy, gradually from socialist welfare state through extremely strong economic reforms. He took over as the Prime Minister of the country in 2004 at the invitation of Congress leader Sonia Gandhi and held the premiership for 2 consecutive terms until 2014. He joined the records as the first Sikh leader and non-Hindu Prime Minister to achieve the status after Jawaharlal Nehru. Although he represented the Indian Parliament until last month of April, he has never been elected by the vote of the people. He represented the Parliament as an appointed member of the Parliament on all the occasions appointed by the Rajya Sabha of India. Indian President Draupadi Murmu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid their last respects in the forenoon today to the mortal remains of Dr. Manmohan Singh in New Delhi. The United Progressive Coalition government under the leadership of Dr. Manmohan Singh, Government of India took firm steps to maintain an extremely strong link with Sri Lanka. It has been a special feature that the war in the north was ended in this country during the tenure of Dr. Manmohan Singh. President Andrew Kumar Dissanayake in an X-message expressed his deep condolences on the passing away of former Indian Prime Minister. The Sri Lankan president pointed out that the direction of Dr. Manmohan Singh as a far-sighted leader was not only limited to the Indian subcontinent. In an X-message, leader of the opposition Sajit Premadas mentioned that Dr. Manmohan Singh was a visionary and his economic reforms converted India and the entire region. The former President Mahinda Rajapaksa in his X-message expressed his condolences on the passing away of the former Indian Prime Minister, and he mentioned with respect the economic uniqueness of him. Former President Ranil Wickremesinghe, who is now on a tour in India, paid his last respects to the remains of Dr. Manmohan Singh in New Delhi. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi also joined this occasion.
Additional Director General of Customs Sevali Arugode says that stocks of imported rice are being cleared immediately in the country. He made these observations to the media. Additional Director General of Customs, Ayurvedic, said that after the extension of the time provided to import rice, the Customs started clearing rice stocks yesterday. During the day yesterday, about 5,000 metric tons have been cleared and issued within the country. A total amount of 72,000 metric tons of rice has been imported from the 9th of December till date. Out of this stock, 30,000 metric tons are Kakulu rice and 42,000 metric tons are Nada rice. The Customs has made arrangements to clear the stocks of rice as soon as possible with the assistance of food inspectors and officials of the quarantine unit.
Now, the Cinnamon Development Department says that it has been planned to earn an income of $500 million annually by the export of cinnamon. Cinnamon has been identified as one of the main agricultural export crops of the country. Sri Lanka earns about $250 million of foreign exchange annually by the export of cinnamon. According to the Director General of the Cinnamon Development Department, Janaka Lindara, says that a number of steps have been taken to double the income. Accordingly, it has been decided to support small and medium-scale cinnamon businessmen to export cinnamon as a value-added product. It has been also planned to expand cinnamon cultivation apart from the traditional cinnamon cultivation districts to Anuradhapura, Putlam and Mahavali zones. It has been estimated that about 25,000 metric tons of cinnamon is being produced in the country, out of which around 19,000 metric tons are being exported. A memorandum of understanding has been signed with China, also in connection with the export of cinnamon. According to the department, as a result of the MOU, it will be able to export cinnamon to China from next month. Director General of Cinnamon Development Department Janaka Lindara said that cinnamon is still being exported only as a raw material. A method to double income is to export value-added products from the country. He added that the encouragement will be given to cinnamon producers in order to export value-added cinnamon products.
We now feature a story about Pragadishwaran, who brings dollars into the country through Ayurvedic medical products. There are 6 members in the family of Pragadishwaran, and 5 members of the family, including the parents and elder sister, are Ayurvedic doctors, and they produce Ayurvedic products using the palmyra tree, which can be easily found in the northern peninsula apart from Ayurvedic medical products. They export these products and 20 food products, mainly being processed in their Ayurvedic manufacturing unit. It has been a commendable fact that the people in the north have been able to win the export market, along with strengthening the economy of the country in whatever way they can. According to Pragadishwaran, a great demand is present from the Tamil diaspora for their Ayurvedic products.
I'm Dr. Pragadishwaran. I'm an Ayurvedic doctor residing in Nallur, Jaffna. Actually, this is an Ayurvedic preparational company. So our main role is we are doing the Ayurvedic consultation for several types of diseases. At the same way, we also manufacturing the herbal food supplements. These are the disease preventive food items, and also we manufacture some herbal cosmetics items which are 100% natural. So all these services we are done in the same company. Actually, we have a export background of countries like Europe and Australia, USA and Malaysia, Singapore. So these are the key countries we are exporting our products. Actually, this is a 50 years old company. So it started on 1973, and we registered all our services into the one company in 2020. This is a woman headed company. It's established on 1973. Now it's 50 years old. On 2020, we have included all our services and incorporated in a company as a private limited. Actually, our turnover should be comes like 20 million rupees. So within that, we cover the Ayurvedic consultations and product manufacturing and product exports and service export. Is all inclusive. For this stage of our company establishment, EDB has played in a big role in our company. After I registered my company in 2020, EDB helped in several programs.
Moving on with more local news, an opportunity has been provided to buy entrance tickets for both local and foreign tourists through the online method in order to watch the elephant orphanage at Pinnavela and the open-air zoo parallel to the digitalization program of the government. Now, this scheme is now being implemented. In the meantime, Director General of the Zoological Department, Ranjan Amarasinghe, says that the department has earned an income of 150% on the 23rd of this month compared with 2023. The highest income has been recorded in the months of January, February, March and August. Since an increase is expected by January of next year, the Director General of the department added that preparations are being made in order to face the increase. Director General of the Zoological Department Ranjana Marasinghe said that a method has been initiated to buy entrance tickets from the net by now for the Pinnavela Orphanage and the zoo. Another methodology would be introduced to the counters to issue computer-related entrance tickets where people would be able to make payment by credit cards and cash along with a QR code system. We have more local news. Now the Presidential Secretariat has planned to hold all cultural events and ceremonies in the national level with the participation of the general public in the future.
Senior Additional Secretary to the President, Kapila Janaka Bandara, says that a new program in this connection is to be initiated. As the first step, digital lighting show has been organized at the Presidential Secretariat premises these days for the joy of all the people who celebrate Christmas and the dawn of the New Year these days. December is the happiest period in the year when all people live happily, anticipating new festive season with innovative expectations. The cause of this speciality is the Christmas and dawn of New Year, which falls together. People of all communities with their family members spend time leisurely these days at the golf face green. To increase its attraction, the surrounding area has been decorated and illuminated, including the golf face green and the Presidential Secretariat premises. At night, the golf face green area becomes an attractive place with multi-color lights. The Presidential Secretariat can be considered as a center point of public life. Under the guidance of the President's Secretary and the staff jointly implemented a new program to enhance joy and freedom of the general public. This digital lighting show has been organized under private sector sponsorship. Large crowds are gathering there every day to view the lighting show. Meanwhile, Christmas carols and concerts have been organized with the help of the three armed forces for the merriment of the people.
Now a walk titled Resistance of Antibiotics, organized by the Ministry of Health and Mass Media, was held today from the Independence Square in Colombo to the Health Ministry. The walk started under the patronage of Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa. A group of officials, including the Ministry of Health, participated in this walk. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said that this antibiotic resistance is considered as one of the first 10 health risks throughout the world. He said that a solution should be found to this problem without delay. He added that Sri Lanka imports a large amount of antibiotics annually, spending a huge sum of foreign exchange. He further said that because of this problem, more foreign exchange spent on antibiotics has become fruitless. He also said that therefore suitable rules and regulations should be prepared to minimize the excessive import of antibiotics. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said that scientific research should be conducted to prevent the problem of resistance to antibiotics.
A discussion with regard to the problems faced by the farmers in the Alahara agrarian movement in Polonnaruwa due to wild elephants was held yesterday at Galmulla area in Bakamuna under the patronage of Deputy Minister T.B. Sarath. At this discussion, attention was focused on the problems faced by the farmers at Kumara Alla, Galmulla, Kuruviyaya and Atharagallava in the Alahara agrarian movement. Accordingly, a decision was taken to remove the bushlands at the border of the Ambanganga River close to the existing electric fence to an extent of 7.5 kilometers from Atharagalawa to Galmulla village. They also decided to maintain the electric fence properly to prevent encroaching wild elephants. Deputy Minister T.B. Sarath said that measures have been taken to provide security for these villages. He said that special attention has been focused to protect the properties of the people. He added not only that measures should also be taken to protect the wild elephants, he further said that water and minerals needed to the elephants and animals should be placed in forests. He also said that this is a forest nurturing system. Deputy Minister T.B. Sarath said that accordingly the conflict between animals and human will be minimized. Meanwhile, about 35-year-old wild elephant has died by entangling in an illegally set up power line in a home garden at the 12th milepost in Alahara. Our correspondent said that the owner of the house has been taken into custody. A carcass of wild elephant aged about 20 to 25 years has been discovered.
Final rites of the late veteran singer Priya Suriyasena was held at the Borella General Cemetery this evening. A large crowd, including artists, participated at the funeral. President Andhra Kumara Dissanayake paid his last respects to the singer this morning at a private funeral parlour in Borella. A large crowd, including people's representatives, were also present there to pay last respects. Priya Suriyasena, who passed away on the 24th of this month, was at the age of 80 at his demise. Late singer Priya Suriyasena was offered a large number of attractive songs for the memory of millions of his fans throughout his career.
The former parliamentarian of the Kaluthara district, Lalit Ellawala, has taken a decision to bid farewell to politics. He made this decision public at a media meeting held in Panadura today. Accordingly, he said that resignation letter from the post of Chief SJB Organizer of Panadura and from the Kaluthara Organizership of the Samaki Jana Sandhanaya along with the post of District Organizer will be forwarded to the Secretary of the party. Former parliamentarian Lalit Ellawala observed that there is no unity within the Samagi Jana Balavegya apart from an autocratic rule. He pointed that even that is for the political stage and no functioning is visible in the posts of the party. Former MP also pointed out that when proposals were made for the national list, only the name of the secretary has been nominated and at least the name of the president has not been announced. Lalit Ellawala also of the opinion that in a short period of time all the active members of the party would leave it. The reason for this can be cited as giving promises which are not fit for a leader and making promises which cannot be fulfilled. The former parliamentarian added that the leader makes a lot of false promises and as such he has decided to resign from today from all the posts of the party.
Now, the governor of the northwestern province, Tissavarna Surya, says that a renaissance project would be initiated under the theme of a rich country, beautiful life. The governor expressed these views joining a media briefing held at the provincial council today. Governor of the northwestern province, Tissavarna Surya, says that attention has been paid towards the tourism industry and the country has the ability to prepare the route for this. He added that by using all these facilities, consumers can be provided with for their consumption and for the tourist industry also. The governor also said that action has to be initiated to create a tourist zone. He cited an example of spiritual tourism around Riddhi Vihare premises and the Khataragama sacred city area. He further said that agricultural zones would also be developed in order to improve agricultural tourism. The governor was of the view that attractive locations have to be identified and the country has to be divided into various zones accordingly.
We now move on to more local news in brief. The government has decided to celebrate National Thai Pongal Day 2025 on the 18th of January at the Tellipalai in Jaffna. A discussion was held at the Ministry of Buddha Sasana, Religious and Cultural Affairs yesterday regarding the series of programs held in line with the Thai Pongal festival. Minister Dr. Hiniduma Sunil Senavi, Deputy Ministry Sundaralingam Pradeep and a group of public officials were present at this discussion. The minister has also instructed the officials to provide government support for the annual Subrimale Holi boat trip. An aircraft belonging to the European airline carrying 180 passengers arrived at the Mattala airport for the first time today. It came from the Sofia airport in Bulgaria. This flight landed in Sri Lanka due to the discussions held between the Ministry of Tourism and European airlines. A police traffic sergeant was killed by a road accident which occurred at Aluthua area in Habarina. When the traffic sergeant was checking a motor car and a lorry, a tipper came behind and knocked on the lorry, sandwiching the victim between the motor car and the lorry. The victim has been identified as a 56-year-old resident at Bathyagama in Kantale. A person has died and another was injured when a three-wheeler fell down at the Kattugaha area in Andarvala last night. With the road accident, the driver of the three-wheeler had fled and the police have later arrested him in Athampitiya area. Well, that's it on local stories. We'll be back with news overseas. Do stay tuned in.
Dengue, 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 dengue. Dengue, 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 dengue. சரியாக நாளாந்தம் நாம் அனைவரும் டெங்கு ஒழிப்பிற்காக சுகாதார அமைச்சின் தகவல்.
Now, in your international news, the NASA authorities stated that a NASA spacecraft has gotten within 3,800,000 miles from the Sun for the first time ever. NASA has made history after their Parker solar aircraft survived the closest ever approach to the Sun. The aircraft has spent the last few days approximately 3.8 million miles from the Sun. The closest any aircraft has come to the burning star. Scientists received a signal just before midnight yesterday from the Parker solar probe, which had been out of communication for multiple days. NASA workers have since confirmed that the journey was safe and the aircraft is undamaged and operating normally.
United Nations chief condemns escalation in Yemen as airstrikes hit Sana'a airport, key infrastructure.
The head of the World Health Organization and other United Nations staff were at Yemen's international airport in Sana'a yesterday during Israeli airstrikes, which reported to have killed at least 6 people. In a statement, WHO Director General Tedros Ghebreyesus stated that he was in Yemen to negotiate the release of United Nations staff detained and to assess the health and humanitarian situation in the country. The official stated that 3 people were reported dead at the airport and 30 were injured. Furthermore, another 3 people were reported dead and 10 wounded in the western Hodeida province. Israel's military stated that it carried out intelligence-based strikes on military targets. The authorities stated that it is unclear whether the fatalities were civilians or the Houthi rebels.
Prima Kutumi, Santamai.
We move on to sports news now. The Sri Lanka-New Zealand 3-match T20 cricket series will commence from tomorrow.
Now the first match will be played in Bay Oval grounds in New Zealand. T20 matches, 25 of them have been played between Sri Lanka and New Zealand teams. Out of them, New Zealand has won 14 matches, while Sri Lanka has claimed victory in 8 matches. 2 matches tied and Sri Lanka has won both the games at the Super Over. 1 match has ended without a decision. The first T20 match of the series is scheduled to start at 11:45 a.m. tomorrow.
We have to adapt quickly to these conditions to fight with these guys, because we all know that New Zealand is a very tough team to beat, and I think we have to adapt quickly. That's the main thing as a captain. I think if we are executing well our plans, I think there will be a good chance for us. Always Sri Lankans are very much like to watching cricket at anywhere in the world. I hope their supports in next few matches. I think guys pretty much doing well, and hope to start well the tournament.
Prima Kuttumi, Pantamai.
Well, that was a look at the news here at Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I am Siobhan Pereira together with Sharifa Tahir. Wish you a pleasant evening and a great weekend.
Good night.